जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैं हूँ सैयदा नाज़िया and today I have with me an esteemed guest all the way from Dallas. He is going to discuss with us on our topic today, which is business in the growth year. And why are we calling it the growth year? What we are going to be talking about. I would like to introduce to you my guest, Mr. Jehangir Raja. He's the CEO of JR Dallas Wealth Management. And I have given his brief introduction on our live stream, but आप उनसे सवालात कर सकते हैं and आप उनको social media पे भी look up कर सकते हैं. I would like him to introduce himself and how he almost became the mayor of Dallas as well. जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, Mr. Jehangir Raja. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Walaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, I'm fine. How are you? Thank you for giving
I'm
me the
good.
opportunity to share my views and opinion with you guys.
Right. We are talking about the business in the growth year. आप अपना थोड़ा सा बैकग्राउंड बताइए. JR Wealth Management के आप CEO हैं, and how does that work for you? Like you have, I'm sure the past year or ये current year हम इसी वजह से forecast कर रहे हैं in the growth year how business and the community and business world is going to shape up. Since you're a wealth guy and I have no knowledge of wealth management or investments at all, तो हम आपसे जानना चाहेंगे कि what do you see since you are the guy?
Thank you so much for again giving me this opportunity. I got my MBA from St. John University in New York back in 1992. I sat on Wall Street with Payne and Weber, and I came to Texas back in 1995. Texas is famous for real estate, so I bought a lot of real estate, in a oil and gas business and all that. But my main focus was on a diversified portfolio. See, one business or one sector does not keep going up. Every sector gets an opportunity to go down and up. Days, the sector which is lagging today, it may be the champions next year. So you never know that. So that's why a diversified, balanced is always a good investment strategy. There's a difference between investments and trading. An investor looks for the long run investments and long term returns. A trader usually is looking for a quick get rich quick kind of schemes. So I'm an investor. I'm not a trader. I believe in long term investments. Last couple of years have been very devastating. By the way, I own a company called JR Dallas Wealth Management. We have about $1.8 billion asset under management, and I'm also a hedge fund manager, and we are registered hedge fund manager. Uh, the last 2 years, 3 years have been very, very different, but not for an experienced or a veteran investor, because everybody knows when you are having a bull market for 5 years, there's going to be some correction. So, medical emergency or crisis was something new, but not the overall bear market. We were ready for that. We were ready to take opportunity for a dip buying. It's called a dip buying, means every stock when it stays in peak is going to go down for correction. That is called dip buying. So all the my investors and followers, we were ready for the opportunities, and we are still. I mean, there is tons of cash on the sideline. We are looking for right opportunities to invest and deploy our capital. Now, if you look at the overall market in America, 35% of all time dollars were printed in last 3 years. 35% of all time. Can you believe that? Let's say, for example, 100 bills were issued total. Out of that, 35 were just issued in last 3 years. So you can very well imagine how much cash flow or how much liquidity is in the market right now. So that's why we're having problems in finding the employees coming back to work, because cash market flooded with cash. $1.9 trillion means it comes with pros and cons as well. 1.9 trillion means there's going to be a lot of liquidity, a lot of cash. So dollar will be devaluated. There's going to be a lot of inflation, and I can see the results right now. But a prudent investor should always look at this. This is not going to be for the long run. The inflation and devaluation of a dollar. So we all need to adjust accordingly. The best hedge against devaluation of dollar and inflation is real estate. But not all real estate is good. There is always good real estate and bad real estate. 99% of people, they lose money in real estate because they don't understand how to invest in a real estate. Investing in a raw land, not investing in real estate. There's a raw land, but there's always cash flowing, income generating properties as well. So there should be thorough due diligence needs to be done. What kind of real estate investment is suitable for your portfolio? That's what I do. That's what I advise my clients as well. And that's what we do here. We look for opportunities all around the world. There are some good cash flowing, income generating properties. We like to invest in those.
Wonderful, because this is exactly what Mr. Bilal Khan Pasha, who's the Consul General in Turkey for Pakistani Consulate, he said the exact same thing, that this year it is all about, if you are looking for investments in Turkey, you are supposed to look in the real estate side. And this is the same thing that you are reiterating. So inflation will come down. What about digital currency and in its investment, the crypto boom and the financial sector? Everybody will be having their own digital currency. And how do you see the scope for that?
This is just like, by the way, I'm not against blockchain. Blockchain technology is like internet of the cryptos. Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Ripple, these are like yahoo.com or gmail.com or email.com or whatever you want to call it. But
Yes.
blockchain technology is here to stay. And I think we must dedicate part of our portfolio toward the blockchain. Now, everybody is issuing these kind of cryptocurrencies, and it's very hard to chain the whole world and bring them in under one umbrella. Of course, there are going to be a lot of people. They're going to be issuing their own bitcoins. They're going to be issuing their own cryptocurrencies, and I think it's very hard to. The basically objective of crypto is decentralization, but decentralization comes with a lot of pros and cons as well. So everybody, if is going to be issuing their own crypto, how are you going to have a uniform uh, uh, value for a crypto? I heard a lot of stable coins, Ethereum, cryptocurrency, but I think if we can come to a formula of having crypto backed by some real estate assets, then I think it's going to have a lot of validity. And that's what we are doing as well, by the way. We're going to be
You
issuing some stable coins, which will be backed by real estate. And tokenization is a very, very brand new concept. And I'm associated, lucky to be associated with one of the company, which is registered with SEC, and they are doing these tokenizations for prime real estates. This is just a brand new concept, but we are doing that as well.
Wonderful. Because in Pakistan, Mr. Shafiq Akbar, who has an online portal for real estate, and he's also starting real estate training academies. His company is grana.com. It's an online portal, but he also is the chairman for Emarat Group. So they are also projecting and intercepting a big boom in real estate investments in Pakistan. So you have an inclination towards investments back home in Pakistan? Because obviously you
I've
are
been
Pakistani.
I've been investing in Pakistan for a very long time. By the way, I paid a lot of taxes. I hear this a lot about that he didn't pay taxes, he didn't pay, but I paid a lot of taxes, and I'm a taxpayer as well. I registered in 6 different continents and about 7 different countries I do business. Pakistan is one of them, and I've been investing there very heavily. For last 3 years, I did not put money into equities in Pakistan, and you can see stock market was like at 45,000. It was at 53. It came down to 45. I cashed out. So now 3 years, it's been very, very difficult time for the equities in emerging markets, especially Pakistan. Next 2, 3 years, you will see a lot of growth. I'm very
Yes.
bullish about equities in Pakistan, so I will be investing heavily in Pakistan again. Right now, I'm invested in fixed income products in Pakistan.
Okay. You like, of course, because of the CPEC and because people are looking towards that as a growth perspective for Pakistani investments. So the Gwadar base, the port that is developing with the China project, you're aware about the CPEC?
Yes, I think all these sectors have a lot of potential for growth. I think the major issue Pakistan has was how to be in compliance with the International Monetary Fund and their requirements. And I think the government has taken a lot of steps. They have come a long way. And going further, I think we see two sectors will be developing. One is logistical and one is real estate in Pakistan,
Yes.
and I'm going to be heavily investing in those two sectors.
Since Amazon has also taken Pakistan as a seller from Pakistan, the Pakistani Post has come on board as their courier. I'm very well aware that last year, when nobody's business was doing well, the logistics companies really made a lot of money. And the reason being that e-commerce and its awareness and its boom, it's a new concept, though it's been around for the last 21 years. Still, it's relatively new, and people are not sure whether this was the right way to go forth. What else? I would like to know more about you as a person and your points. And I would like people to communicate and ask questions for Mr. Jehangir Raja, because we are talking about business in the growth year. And we are calling this the growth year because what would you say about the coming times ahead now that the vaccine is implemented and things are looking up?
There's always there's a boom and bust, and I think the overall economy has been in a bust for the last 2 years. Everything literally came to stop and halt. So I think for next 2 years we're going to be seeing a lot of growth, and so that's why we can consider these 21, 22 as growth years. Yes, there are going to be some corrections in some of these sectors because, for example, IT sector, IT has performing very well in last 3, 4 years. So I think there can be some correction to IT sector, but real estate has always been the lagging sector whenever IT is the front runner. So I think real estate will be doing great. Shopping malls, no. Retail, no. I think people have adjusted. They have found their comfort in online shopping now. So I would not be investing money into retails or shopping centers, but commercials and office, I won't be doing it. But apartment complex, multifamilies, and maybe medical buildings, healthcare. These are the sectors that we should be looking into.
Like you mentioned that the real estate has to it's not supposed to be land, it's like a holiday homes or some projects like maybe theme park entertainment areas, because people certainly they've stopped shopping in malls and they're preferring online shopping, but entertainment can never be online, so you do need a place to go out and take your family with you. What about those kinds of resorts or something for entertainment, or in the healthcare like you mentioned? So which is the right way forward, both real estate wise and software investment wise?
Entertainment and glamour is something is never going to go out of business.
Yeah.
It's never going to go out of fashion. So I always people always come to me. By the way, for the last 4 years, they've been asking me, "What do you think for the next year? What for 10 years?" I always tell them one thing: you don't know what is going to be in demand next 4 or 5 years, but attitude, manners, and character, it will never go out of fashion. If
True.
you concentrate on these three things, your attitude, your manners, and your character, you will do good in every sector that you go into. Entertainment, glamour, this is basically like a mandatory things for entertainment and glamour is manners, attitude, and character. So I will apply those three characteristics in.
Um, your mic is, I think it's mute. Can you hear me? Your mic is not working. Can you hear me? Yeah. Could you check your mic? Check your mic button. Maybe it's gone on mute. Or you can exit and re-enter. Maybe something technical error happened or something happened. Yeah. Exit and re-enter. Maybe you should exit the live stream and re-enter. Yeah. Okay. So there's some technical problem with his audio. अब हम बात कर रहे थे Mr. Jehangir Raja से, and he was suggested to me to take on as my live stream guest by Mr. Khabar Naseem, who also does investments and properties in Dubai, in the UAE MENA region for a very long time. उनका जो है काम, उसका नाम है, कंपनी का बिजनेस का नाम है Prop Solutions. And what they do is they work with a lot of investment companies and groups, and they are looking to make investments in Pakistan and in Turkey. They're already working with ZameenTurkey.com portal people, which is Hamza Sheikh, who runs that. And my connection with the real estate and my background with the real estate is that I worked with Emar, and Mr. Jehangir Raja is back, and I also worked with the Mark on Trumps project. जी, चेक करते
Yes,
हैं।
madam.
बेटर, गॉट इट। जी, तो मैं रियल एस्टेट का, प्रॉपर्टी का बैकग्राउंड बता रही थी कि मैं ऑलरेडी ईमार के साथ और दमाग के साथ ट्रम्प के प्रोजेक्ट पे काम कर चुकी हूँ। मैं दुबई में थी, और अभी टर्की की तरफ बहुत लोग देख रहे हैं। सिटीस्केप पे हमारे पास इस्तांबुल के स्टॉल पे सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉपर्टी सेल हुई थी, और दुबई में इतनी इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं आई थी प्रॉपर्टी की जितनी के टर्की की तरफ लोगों ने इन्वेस्ट किया है। एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली जो बिलाल पाशा ने भी मुझसे यही कहा सर ने कि टर्की में अगर आपने कोई भी किस्म का इस वक्त काम करना है, इम्पोर्ट एक्सपोर्ट छोड़ दें, सॉफ्टवेयर छोड़ दें, look toward real estate investment, which is what one of my people, Salim Qureshi Saab, he's working there now. He's buying properties left, right, center because अभी bankruptcy की तरफ है, लेकिन जब ये growth year में obviously Airbnb पे अगर वो लगाते हैं holiday homes, obviously this is going to pay off big time. So the same thing आपने भी advise किया है, being in wealth management, and this is your company, people can look it up. This is a website, jrdallaswealthmanagement.com, yourwealth.com, that's the right link. So what you do, how things float, and how people can make good investments and right choices in the coming year, for the year and a half ahead. You think कि वर्क फ्रॉम होम ही चलेगा, या ये जो आप लेबर शॉर्टेज की भी आपने बात करी, और थिंग्स आर लुकिंग a little haywire, but you see the chaos, and you see the कि इतना chaotic नहीं है, because you're looking probably from an eagle eye, bird's eye view. तो आप लोगों का sensibility और आपका चीजों को देखना, आप लोग कैसे assess करते हैं, मतलब when you're in the investment zone?
First of all, home office, yeah, work from home is not new to me. I've been trying to uh, concentrate more on artificial intelligence
Yes.
for about last 8 9 years. So my business has not been affected at all. So it did not change anything in my business. Even Morgan Stanley is now changing more towards going automated business. Uh, so work from home is not something new to us. We are very used to that. Especially in big cities, if you go, you waste about 4 hours a day in traffic every day.
Yes.
So that's a big problem, and I think people have learned now. They have adapted themselves now to take advantage staying and working from home. It saves a lot of money, it saves a lot of time, and it saves a lot of resources. Now, speaking of Turkey, I'm very bullish about Turkey. I was the first one who invested in Dubai when the first man-made island was made, Palm. I was the first one who
Yes.
invested there, and I was very happy. We did pretty good in 2008 when the financial crisis hit,
The boom.
and
Yeah.
I think Turkey is gonna do great. Two things. Number one, 2023, their 100 years agreement is gonna
Agree.
be
Yes.
expired. Well, yeah,
Yes.
so they're gonna bring a lot of uh, strength in Turkey. Second thing is, the biggest thing is, if they become part of euro, you can very well imagine how the currency will be getting strengthened. So these two things, based upon that, I will highly recommend to invest in Turkey. Now, every country and every sector, must get overflow as well. So we just need to make sure the sector, the location that we pick is the right thing. And I think I see a lot of opportunities in Turkey now, and we are personally investing in Turkey ourselves as well.
Okay, you mentioned artificial intelligence. What have you been working on? Do you make softwares yourself? Are you using it as a solution for your company? And what is it? Would you be willing to invest in artificial intelligence programs or softwares from Pakistan? Because we are working on that as well.
Yes, yes, of course. I've been doing that. If you go on my website and if you go on my social media, you'll see a pie chart and startups and artificial intelligence is part of my portfolio. We are heavily investing in artificial intelligence and technology. And like I said, I've been investing in Pakistan for a very long time. Uh, you can't make a status or unicorn in every startup that you do. You can have a lot of failures. You invest on 500 companies and one may make it. So, but yeah, our portfolio is very diversified. We are looking for investments all around the world. And Pakistan, is one of the countries that I'm very bullish about. It will be like Morgan Stanley said, it will be a shining star of emerging markets. It's just a matter of time.
Who do you look towards? Like you mentioned Morgan Stanley twice. Who's your role model? It looks to me like it's more Warren Buffett. Who do you look towards? Like this is the guy that I think that did the right thing or does the right things.
First of all, when I say shining star of the emerging market, I'm talking the countries, and Pakistan one of the emerging markets, part of emerging markets, and see in today's market, it's not how big you are. Big does not win all the time. The fast wins now. It's not the race between big and small anymore. It's the race between slow and fast. And Pakistan, being the size of Pakistan, I think in a very good shape that it can act fast. And you must know from the COVID experience, it was a big problem in India and Brazil and even USA because of their size. But Pakistan handled it very well because the size was small, and that's why they act very efficiently. And I think I'm very hopeful that next 10 years, whichever country or sector is fast and smart, they're gonna do progress.
Okay, and okay, one question that I would really like to know. You tried to get elected as mayor for Dallas. Would you be willing to go for it again, one more round?
Uh, they say never.
Yeah. No?
I,
So
uh,
what's your inclination towards coming towards politics or towards community service or community building? How does that work for you?
I believe just like vote, it's your part of your I would say civic duty. If you are eligible to vote, you must vote. Similarly, if you are eligible for a certain position or title or status, you must contend for. And my way of paying back to the community was to be elected as in a role of mayor, so that I can make my community aware. I can give them I can add value by giving back to what the community has been investing into me. So it was a way to pay back to the community, and I'm going to keep doing it. It's not
When
about mayor. I don't believe in roles. I believe in goals. I think
goals?
we should be, yes, I think we should be goal oriented, not role oriented. I never believe in status or I never believe in titles. I always try to do good. And I'm going to keep doing it.
Wonderful. And if you would wrap up the session with and your perspective and your way forward, and what would you advise to new entrepreneurs or startups because you do make portfolios and investments in diversified, opportunities, and especially in Turkey and Pakistan as well. And then I will have my last question with you.
The biggest problem is people do not understand when they see a successful startup, think they can do that too. No, you need to be very, very careful about startup. You don't need only a dream and go, but you always need to have a process, a plan, and execution of that plan in place as well, with an exit strategy in place. If we have all these components and financing arranged there, then you must go. Otherwise, startup is not for everybody. It's not for somebody like it's very difficult. My advice to my children is first, after getting graduation, go and work for a company 3 or 4 years and work like 24/7. After that, you become specialized in certain sector. Then you start a hedge fund, start a startup company, or start your own company. But don't work for other people for the rest of your life. Work 3 or 4 years and then become your own entrepreneur.
That brings me to one question. There are a lot of people, like we have this project by Mr. Imran Jatala and Mr. Hassan Sayed back home in Pakistan. They are working with the entrepreneurs, upcoming entrepreneurs in the tech or otherwise in Lahore, Karachi, and Islamabad. They are going to universities, colleges. I have also been teaching entrepreneurship at university level. What we are lacking is exactly what you pointed out just now. So, would you be willing to come on board as a mentor or as a keynote speaker sometime for our students and our entrepreneurs back home? Because this is the right, you're giving them a roadmap. You're giving them the right paths to take and the right goals and challenges, which I think we are lacking. And this is not something which teachers can provide, which is not something some training programs can provide. You need a mentor like yourself who has, charted out this scale of achievements and success for himself. And I saw your daughter's picture, so I'm sure they are taking after you, and you advise and guide them timely and aptly. So, would you be willing to come on board as a mentor? This is one thing. Then I have another question.
Yes, of course, I'm open to that. The whole point of is paying back to the community, you know. So one way of paying back to community is you prepare 100 leaders, 100 people you mentor, and you try to make them like yourself. If people think that you're successful, I'm not successful. I'm comfortable and I'm happy. I'm happy whatever I achieved, and I want to share with people. If my daughters can achieve as much as I did, I think they'll be great. And this is what
That's
I'm going to tell people as well.
because that covers a lot of things for us. That gives people the hope and the path that we have this negative image, which I, being a personal branding coach, I'm trying to change the brand image of a Pakistani and child education and girl education and empowering women. What you are doing and what you have done is setting a benchmark. We need to see this as people, as Pakistanis, as Asians, that this is how it's done. And for somebody who has already delivered, to me, that is success. And that is being a role model, and that is the way branding and image is going to change. So we can never forget that who we are and where we came from, but you're not the same Pakistani person anymore, because we are not talking negatively about a Pakistani, we're talking about the mindset. So I am trying to change that, and it takes a lot of hands and a lot of people to come together and be able to do that. It's not going to be so easy, because we've lived with the Indians, the Hindus, we have lived under the British Raj, we have been subservient to all sorts of cultures and mindset that we have totally forgotten. We have the potential, we have the talent. Our best HR people like you, they have left Pakistan and moved abroad, and mainly for better lifestyle and opportunities. Is there something that can bring you back to your homeland? Or would you be willing to be the HR that serves back home but stays in the US? And how would you take it?
I, I'm a firm believer of education. Education does not mean degrees, honestly. Education means knowledge. School does not give you education and knowledge. School only prepares you to start getting knowledge. You do not learn 18 years in college what you learn in 1 year in practical life.
Practical.
So I'm a firm believer in education. I don't believe in gender inequality. I believe women and men. And by the way, women always can do a little bit more than men can do.
Yes.
I never like to, keep women in one compartment and men in other. No, I'm not that kind of person. I believe, women are as talented. The problem is the I think it's going to take time to change the mindset of people that women can be leaders as well. I hate to word the use woman leader or lady leader or female. I don't say that. I think a leader is a leader. And you'll be very surprised. I was telling some other people that I'm thinking, I was preparing my youngest daughter.
Oh, your audio has gone again. Your audio has gone again. जी। अच्छा, अगर आपको मेरी आवाज़ आ रही, थैंक यू हयात दावर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर अप्रिसिएशन। जो हम बात कर रहे थे, ज़ाहिर है मैं उर्दू और इंग्लिश के बीच में बात कर रही हूँ। बहुत सारे लोग हमें इसलिए सुनना पसंद नहीं करते कि हम उर्दू में लैंग्वेज में बात करें, मगर मैं चाहती हूँ कि दुनिया को मैं जो अपना परसेप्शन दिखाना चाह रही हूँ कि पाकिस्तान और पाकिस्तानी खवातीन और नॉट नेसेसरली खवातीन बट हु आई एम डजंट मैटर, व्हाट आई हैव डन डजंट मैटर। We as a community, we as Pakistanis, we living abroad and having all these perspectives, हम दूसरे तरह की मखलूक सिर्फ सोच के थ्रू बन सकते हैं। जी, welcome back.
Okay. So I was saying America is not different than Pakistan. Gender inequality here is as well.
जी.
And I was preparing my daughter to run for the governor of Texas,
Oh
the
wow,
youngest.
I would love to see that
Of
happen. I
course,
hope it happens.
I mean, who could have tell 10 years ago that I'm going to be running for mayor of Flower Mound? Nobody could have said, So it's never, like you can't say, never say never. So yeah, I'm preparing her. I'm preparing her to run for the governor. I think she has the talent. She is very talented, and I think
Laiba.
she is the Mania, MJ.
Oh
She goes by
Mania.
MJ.
Okay, I
She's
just
the
saw
youngest
Laiba's
one.
graduation, so yeah.
Yeah, Laiba is brilliant, and she's trying to be a doctor and a plastic surgeon.
Oh
She loves,
wow.
by the way, engineering, and she loves medical. So plastic surgery is something she says I can combine my medical into engineering. So that's what she wants to do. She likes to do the engineering stuff. So she wants to be a doctor. But Mania, she wants to be a lawyer, and I think she's going to make a great constitutional lawyer, and I think she's going to be a great leader. And wait till you hear her sometime or see
Sure.
her talking. And I'm very impressed, by the way. She's very intelligent. She's very sharp, and I think it came from mother. Their mother is a very intelligent, very
Dalia,
bright, and very hardworking person.
I believe Dalia also has me on her social media now. So
Yes.
kudos to all of you because what impresses me, it's like you mentioned, we are talking about wealth and we're talking about wealth management and investments and hedge, but the emotional and intelligent IQ, the acumen, the mindset, that is what attracts me towards somebody, and I would invest my time and my energy and my resources into shaping that up, which is something that is lacking back home. So which is why I had this question, because since I've seen you with your daughters and how you are taking them, you know it's brilliant mind shaping. So I think that is something that women, why I need to make it gender specific, because mothers, like you mentioned, it's from her mom. We need to make these mothers of the new generation and the new kids be the ones to be shaping up those mindsets and character building. So I will be launching a certain program to be working on that with the students, right? Because we are only preparing them for nothing and no real life challenges and no mindset and no question seeking and self development. I think this is very genuinely missing. So I accept that as a gap in Pakistan, but this is something that we are trying to work on, not as a teacher, because I feel that my teachers If there are 10 teachers, only one will be mentoring and working on coaching me to make me somebody as a person in life with our own perspective, which you are doing as parents. So not all parents are doing that, so we need to probably work on the parents if they have the willingness and the openness to take up that kind of an investment. So, eventually that will be profitable for everybody, communities
I
and the
think it's a good
economy as
investment.
well.
I think children is your best investment if you do it right. And I don't differentiate between a son or daughter. We were, by the way, six brothers, no sister. And we never had a sister. And now I got daughters, and they like, my brothers and my sisters. I mean, my brothers are like my sons. I never differentiate, by the way. I never cared about a gender, is of male or female. I always look at potential. Like I said,
Uh,
I look.
one one quick question. Sorry to cut you.
Yes.
This was the way you are, or coming to the US shaped up that new perspective. How did that work for you? Because
I'm
you
sorry. Can
are
you
from
repeat?
Pakistan, so obviously you
Could you,
must be thinking like people back home.
can you repeat the question, please?
Means get this the change of perspective, this mindset shift. It happened when you moved to US, or was it always there from your upbringing? Was it there in inbred?
No, actually, it's been from the beginning. I went to private school there. It was a co-education, so I was basically studying with the female, and I never feel any difference between a male student and female student. They were competing. There were a couple of girls. They were competing with boys, and there's always, but it's from the beginning. It's from the beginning. Nothing changed in my life. I'm not here today, and I'm feeling like I'm a better person because I'm in America or I've been here for. No, I've been a better person in Pakistan as well. I've been a role model. Alhamdulillah, Allah has blessed me. I've been a role model for my brothers, my sisters, my whole family, my friends. And it's not like today. It's just from the beginning I'm like that because honestly, I treat everybody like my family. I do care about everybody. I try to bring people up. I try to inspire them. So it's not about America. I mean, even if I was in Pakistan, I would have done exactly the same thing which I'm doing here, and I
So
will
the
try to bring
upbringing
people
element
up.
is the reason, or your schooling, which would you credit it to? Because the
Schooling.
growth in your perspective, schooling. Which school did you go to?
Here in
No,
USA or
there,
Pakistan?
Pakistan.
Pakistan, I went to Sunrise Camry School. It was a private school in Rawalpindi,
Okay, you're
St.
from
Paul Sunrise. Yes.
wonderful.
And then I went to University of Agriculture, Faisalabad, for my
Okay,
bachelor's in economics. And then I came for my master's to USA back in 1989, I believe.
that's a very very long time. So, any message that you would like to give for business in the growth year, or generally to people out there who aspire to be somebody like you? Because when people mention wealth and hedge funds, they see, oh my God, he's a rich guy. But the rich guy has a curve, he has a graph, he worked towards it, and he made the right choices. So that is why we need to know who you are as a person, how this happens.
That
There's no magic to it. But everybody's
I
working hard. There's also not hard work to it. So there is something which anybody can, take from you.
I always say, do not try to make investments as part-time play. Otherwise, investment will turn you into a full-time loser. You follow me? So you can't play with investments like put some money here and put money there. It's a full-time job, and you need to make a lot of sacrifices. You cannot say, "Hey, I'm a very very good relationship with my mother, with my brother, my wife, my children, everybody, and still I'm a successful person." Very difficult. It is very difficult. It's a very rocky road. It's not easy, but it's really rewarding. I never try to be rich. I try to be wealthy. There's a
Well,
difference between being rich and being wealthy. Okay, rich is when you have money, cash, rupiah, or dollar. Wealth is when you have assets, collateral. End of the day, when you go home and you go to bed, you should be smiling. That's what matters. regardless of what you do all day long. If you're going to bed, if you're not happy, then it's not worth it. Don't do it if you cannot go to sleep happy. That's all.
Wonderful. And what would you say to the Pakistanis in USA and Pakistanis back home?
I think they need to educate themselves. Educate means do not try to compete with other peoples. You cannot outnumber them, but you can outsmart them. And I hate to give this example about Israel. Look at this. There are like 25 million people, and I don't care about fight and things like that, disputes. I look at the positive and productive stuff. 25 million people, they're ruling the world through Wall Street, infrastructure. They just got a defense contract to protect UAE. Can you believe it? Muslims are signing contracts with Israel that they're going to be giving them cybersecurity and all that. And the biggest achievement that Israel I see is last year was pandemic. Everything was shut down. They had 10 unicorns. Unicorn is when the company value is $1 billion.
Billion
There are
dollars,
10,
yes.
there are 10 startups were unicorn in New York. Can you believe it? No nation could do it. They are called
No,
a
you're way
nation
ahead
of
of.
startups.
Yes, yes, yes.
I would
So
advise
again,
I would advise the people that you learn from them. Don't try to compete with everybody. Don't try to fight with everybody. Learn. Try to find similarities. Ignore the differences. That's what my message would be.
yeah, because even when they came out on the roads, generally we have to separate the Israel from the Jews, from the Palestinian issues, from the political demographics, and the way they came and invaded and spent time in Pakistan, in our home ground, and they cultivated those minds and divide and rule and all that. That the British, we are still following their laws and everything. So we are also a little bit double standards where that is concerned. They took the best from us, and we are left with zero. So we can start from the best number to begin with. It has been a pleasure and a great interaction. I have had a great insight and a great learning. And in the end, I would say Pakistan Zindabad, and Pakistani jahan pe bhi rehte hain, Zindabad hi rehte hain. So I am so glad that we had this. And I look forward to the growth here. I've learned a lot. I am an MBA student. I just cleared my master's this year, but this is not what we were taught. This is definitely a new beginning and a new learning. Oh, we have a couple of comments. I did ask. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody who tuned in. Khabar Naseem says, great. I will acknowledge the audiences in their comments. They also make investments. They're working with properties in the UAE. And Hayat Dawar Khan says, keep it up. Great job. And Rana Javed Iqbal, he works in Pakistan. He says, excellent. So anybody जिनको कोई सवालात करने हो आप लोग कमेंट्स में लिख सकते हैं. आप इनकी वेबसाइट भी विजिट कर सकते हैं. सोशल मीडिया कि मैंने सारे बैनर्स चलाए थे. आप दोबारा से ये वीडियो देख सकते हैं. शेयर भी कर सकते हैं यूएसए बिजनेस कम्युनिटी में भी या पाकिस्तानी बिजनेस कम्युनिटी में भी. तो आपको आइडिया हो जाएगा कि पीपल इन द यूएस दे आर फ्लरिशिंग बिकॉज ऑफ and we are lacking because of. So one shift and one desire to grow. हम भी wealthy और healthy और हर चीज हो सकते हैं अगर हम सही चीज ले लें और दूसरों को दुश्मन ना समझें और नेगेटिव ना सोचें. तो इससे
Thank you.
बहुत बहुत ज्यादा ग्रोथ तो वेल्थ और ग्रोथ तो इस सोच से बदलने से आ जाएगी. So
Yes.
I would
Yes.
like to thank Jehangir Raja Saab, who is the CEO of JR Wealth Management Dallas, and he's gave us so much time today, and I hope that helps you in business growth year mein. And you can always seek him out. You can always look him up on Insta, on Twitter, and his website. He's quite active, and he's working in a lot of investments in Turkey and in Pakistan. So thank you so much for your time, and Pakistan Zindabad. You have to also
Thank,
say it.
thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Thanks. Allah.